Hello, hello. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Welcome to this episode of the Greenville HubSpot user group in Greenville, which in reality is virtual, so anybody is welcome, and that's from all the things that are have changed in terms of a remote or virtual event. That's one of the good things that even when it's locally for Greenville, anyone from anywhere can join. Welcome. If you want to share with me where are you watching from, maybe from here or from another part of the country or the world, that will be fantastic. And I think we are almost ready to start. I see Amy. Welcome, Randy, Ashley. I think we are ready. So let me share my screen here very quickly. All right, there you go. And everybody should be seeing that now. And very well, welcome. So my name is Emilio Garcia. I'm the owner of an agency, a demand generation agency, Boundify, and we offer demand generation services for B2B companies mostly. And as part of the things that we do at the agency, we also happen to be HubSpot partners, and that's part of the reason we host these events. So in this the HubSpot user group events, we talked about everything HubSpot, but usually about new features or things that are coming up in the platform that is growing like crazy for many years now. I try to make them very actionable. So if you have questions, if you want to just be part of the conversation, just let me know and I can invite you on video or audio or both. And I will try to show you as much as possible within the portal the things that you can accomplish. So also, if you have any a new topic or things that are interest, feel free to just let me know. Um, I will be happy to add them for sure. Um, there are some resources that I want to share with you. If you want to connect with me later, you can do it on LinkedIn. That's where I usually spend most of the time in social media. And also, I run a series of live events called Demand Generation Studio, where we talked about mostly about demand gen topics like pay search, pay social, and pipeline acceleration, which is kind of lead nurturing and customer nurturing. So feel free to reach out. It will be a pleasure to connect with you later. Now, let us dive right away into the topic for today. The context of this conversation is um, sometimes when you are implementing marketing programs, and in my case in particular, when we are helping clients implement demand generation programs, there's a point for marketers where we need to start moving those we work with the lead generation, the brand awareness, and we start building that database of leads or marketing qualified leads. And there's a point where sales needs to get involved. And that's a whole different conversation because now we are depending on the CRM that the company is using and the ability of the sales rep to deal with digital leads, right? With leads that come from the digital world, from forms, from chat conversations, and obviously from phone calls themselves. So one of the things that usually happen is that they are introduced to a CRM, and in this particular case, obviously we are going to talk about the HubSpot CRM. And what usually happens is that technology gets in the way, kind of, and the adoption is not that great. And I feel that part of the reason is because for sales reps, the CRM becomes an obstacle for their work instead of something that can help them to accomplish what they want, which is have meaningful conversation with interest leads and provide value as soon as possible, right, through their sales process. So today I want to focus on an aspect that sometimes is overlooked on HubSpot when using the CRM, because at the beginning, usually for the implementation, the focus is obviously on understanding where do you create the contacts, the companies, how do you record deals, and reporting all that. But sometimes there's not a lot of attention paid to how we can help the sales rep make their work faster. And by the way, how we can learn from the marketing perspective to take advantage of what they're doing there, to understand better the prospects that we are sending. So it's a twofold, right? I want to introduce you today, depending on the role that you have, right? If you are joining us today as a sales manager and you have a team and you want to know how they can make their work faster, more productive, easier, but at the same time you want to know, well, how do I know what is being successful, what is working and what's not? Then this is the place for you to learn some of the tools that you can take advantage of this from the CRM if you have them. If you are more of a marketing coordinator or marketing manager or marketing professional or specialist, and you are trying to understand how to leverage the sales portion of the tool to help your sales team to be more successful with the leads that you're sending them, this is again the right place, and you will see how that works and what you can do to enable your sales team to be more productive and work easier and faster with the prospect that you create. And finally, right, if for whatever reason you are like the sales rep, not a manager necessarily, but you are wondering, well, I have access to this tool, I was introduced to it, but I have no idea how I can make things better or faster. Again, this is part of the way we'll try to accomplish today. So let us dive right away. Again, the way that you will discover, and I will try to cover that a little bit on the portal itself, is that HubSpot, one of the benefits that it has is that it's an integrated tool. So you have the marketing, the sales, and the customer success tools put all together into one single platform instead of jumping into different places to accomplish stuff. However, also that can be a little bit disorienting, because when you go into the portal, if someone gave you access to the whole thing, then you will wonder where do I go? And I will cover that. But in a nutshell, what I want to say is that within the CRM, there's a hub, in this case, Sales Hub, where you have access to those tools. The intention of the Sales Hub is to provide tools to allow the sales rep to work faster, right? So that will be the focus of today. While Sales Hub and CRM are highly interrelated, they are not necessarily the same. The scope of the CRM, from my point of view, is managing those objects that we need to replicate the sales process, but also the marketing process or the customer success process. I'm talking about contacts, companies, deals, tasks. Those objects represent for me the CRM. But the sales tools are the things that the sales rep can use to make their work faster. And obviously, it's full of those tools. There are many of them. I will cover just a handful on this session. There are many, many more. And if you have questions about one of them right now, just let me know in the chat, and I will try to cover it if I can, if the time allows. But the tools that we were going to cover today that I feel are the most used for most cases are email templates, documents, snippets, and meetings. And the things that we will learn about these four apply to most of the other tools for sure, right? So it will be applicable for sure. So let us dive into the first one, email templates. Now, what is the use case for this one? It's a pretty common one. If you are coming from a world where your sales team is not using a CRM, you have probably seen them build templates of emails that they use one and time again. Introductions, follow-ups, conversations after trade shows, conversations after sending a quote, similar things. So the idea of the email template is that you have these reusable emails that already have the information for most of the information, and then you can just customize for the contact or the client and send them over. So that's the idea, and something obviously that you can accomplish on your own productivity tools without necessarily doing it from the CRM. But there are great benefits when you do it from the CRM. And the reason is that that those personalization tokens or things that you can customize for the email can be drawn from the CRM directly. Think company name or the buyer job title or links to other documents, and we will see some examples. So the email template tool, the way that you use it is that you start looking around on the organization, the emails that everybody sends, and put them together in the tool. The other great advantage of it when you do it from HubSpot is that you can standardize. That will be more for the sales manager or even the marketing operation person, is that you can standardize the message. So that way, while you give every sales rep the flexibility of decide for every email that they say, if they're going to say something different, at least you have a common language at the beginning that everybody knows how to use. And if you ever change the template, it will be replicated across the organization without you having to resend that template to everybody. So it's a great tool. Let me jump right away into it to show you how it works and some examples of how you can leverage it. So this is our portal, and usually those tools are in the sales tab. And I think this one is it on the sales tab? No, this one in particular is in the conversations tab. So you go to conversations and you go to templates, and you will find it here. And it's a very standard view. Usually there's owners of those templates. That way you manage permissions, right? So usually the person that creates a template is considered the owner, and you can change that to make the whole organization or a team part of it. If you want to use it personally, right, you keep it to yourself. If not, you share it with everybody else. You can organize the templates when you have a lot of them into folders, right? Think about, for example, because this is not only something that sales can use, marketing can use also, or use it. Customer success can use it for sure. So it's also a tool that can take advantage for the teams. You can create folders by department, or you can create folders by sales team or something similar. But in any case, you will have some of them here. The easiest way to create one is to use the template library here that you can see. This will give you some ideas to start working on some of those templates if you have nothing already, or if you have no idea where to start. So for example, the library is organized in a way that you have a couple of ideas for first touches, right? Emails that you send for the first time to a contact. And then you have follow-up emails that you can consider here. And for example, this one, right? They continue the conversation and open up the dialogue. I will use this one as an example. I click on it, save my selections, and then it's created, right? And let us dive a little bit and look at it. Right, so you have an internal name here, right? So no one, not the client or the prospect, will not see that name. That name. I am the owner because I created it, and then the subject will be the subject that the email will have, right? This one is the one that the prospect will see. And here I can control if I want to share it just if it's just for me, if I want to share it with everyone in the organization, or if I want to share it to specific users or teams. And I can put it inside a folder if I decide to. And now you can see how I have the template and I have these tokens, right? Like the contact first name, the company, and even my meeting link. And we will talk about that meeting link to continue the conversation after an initial dialogue. So you can, customize it a little bit. And those tokens can be drawn from all the objects that the CRM have access to that can be added to templates, right? So it's not just contact information, it's also company, it's information about you, right? The sender, the deal, if you have a deal already going on, or for the case of customer success, you can cover also things related to tickets and issues similar to those. The other thing is that usually you are able to insert from in the template information from other sales tools that we will also talk about, right? So you can insert snippets, documents, meeting links like we have here, and even video. which is another great introduction. If you have standard videos for introductions or for case studies or things like that, you can use their integration with Vidjar to insert those videos. So very helpful here. And you can edit your signature, so you can take a look at how this is gonna be used. So let us assume that you're happy with it, and then we are not gonna do any changes, and we keep it. How do you use it? Well, there are two places where you can use your template. One is that you go to contacts, or to any contact that you have, and you click here on create an email, right? And when you create that email, you click here on templates and select the one that you have, and it will pre-populate all the information with the tokens, right? So the name is replaced, the company is replaced if it has it. In this one, it doesn't have it. And then the meeting link is here, and here's my signature. Pretty easy to use, right? So you can use it and then send it. And obviously, you can, as part of the email tool, you can just make a follow-up here. That's one place where you can use it. The other one is that you can use it from your email tool if you have the integration with HubSpot, right? So if you compose here, right, and you click to templates, and first you need a name. Let me put this one, and then templates, and continue the conversation, and it will do exactly the same, right? You see? So it's a great way to use it both on your email tool and in your HubSpot portal. So that's a great way to take advantage of that tool. If you have any questions, please let me know. But take advantage of it. It's a great tool to start. And again, one thing that you can do today is just walk across the organization and start asking, what are those emails that we send very frequently that we want to put into the templates, and standardize those conversations, and speed up the email process, definitely for your team. Now, the next tool, documents. So very similar to email templates. Usually when a sales team has been working outside of a CRM, what happens over time is that all that sales collateral, right, all those presentations and feature explanations of the product or the service or about the company, are created from either the marketing team or from a sort of team internally on sales, and provided to the sales rep. And they have it everywhere, right? They have it on Dropbox, they have it on their own computer, they have it on different cloud tools. And usually you have multiple versions of them. And whenever you send them, you really don't have any idea if that document is being viewed or reshared or act upon. So documents solve that problem, again, in a very similar way to the email template, to centralize the access to those documents and to have a version that everybody else uses. So again, if you look at the perspective of the sales manager or the marketing coordinator or head of the department, the benefit is that you can have a place where you can see all those documents together. And if you have changes, everybody will have the latest version without effort, right? So, and from the sales rep point of view, the benefit is that they know there's a place where everything is there. They don't have to go around on the computer or remember which of the cloud services they have the presentations, or wonder if they have the latest version. They will have it provided by the sales operation person from the CRM directly, and accessible across all the tools. So very similar here. You go to, in your portal, this one is under the sales tab, and you go to documents. And as I was saying, all these tools have a very similar view. We have the documents, and you can create folders if you want to for the same reasons. And then you can upload your documents, and you have a lot of options to upload, right? You can upload a document from your computer, from an existing file in HubSpot already. HubSpot has a file system very similar to WordPress, for example. And then you can upload it from cloud tools like Dropbox or Google or similar ones. In this case, I will show you just one presentation that I already have here. So this is how it looks like, right? Once you upload the document, it will look like any other presentation, right? It's just that it's a link instead of people downloading it from the beginning. So you aren't attaching a document, you're just attaching a link to your emails. And people can scroll and watch it. That's normal, right? Or expected. But one of the benefits is that they can download it. And if you see here, um, there's the sales rep information that's sent it, right? You can see here that this is me and this is my meeting link, and they can email me directly. So the information to contact the sales rep rarely available. But from my end, right, from the perspective of the person that created that, they're able to see who is watching that presentation and how much time they are investing on it, right? What pages are they looking at. And you can get, if you have your notifications on, you can get notifications when that lead or that opportunity is watching the presentation. And obviously you can trigger, if you want to, automations, or just be human and pick up the phone and in a non-creepy way ask, have you been thinking about what we discussed, right? So those are the opportunities on this one. Great to when you have the document already, you can create a link, right, that you can send to someone, and this is the person that needs to open it if you have the required email address to view the document, or you can just leave it open and everybody can see it. If you require an email address, then you can tie that session to that person, and even you will be able to know if they share with someone else. That person will be require an email too, and you will be able to know if, for example, an assistant or someone has been delegated to reach out to your company. You will know who is the decision maker or the potential buyer behind the request. So very helpful to understand, especially in B2B scenarios where you have a buying committee, who is behind the decision. So how do you use them? Very similar to the email templates. When you are going to create those templates or looking at that email, right? If you want to add that document here, I will put it. You can insert one or more of your documents here, right? So you go to your documents, presentation desk. You decide here, right? Presentation desk. You decide here if an email is required. You can even include a preview, right? And it looks very nice. And you update your template, right? So now your template had that document. If that document is changed, it's updated, or you can use it directly on emails, right? There's no problem on that. You just go to a contact, and then you create an email and you insert a document in it, right? Any of the documents that you have here. There you go, right? And as I was telling you, the experience is pretty straightforward. The user clicks and see your presentation and the information to reach out to you. And they have here the option to share it with someone else. So again, how do you take advantage of this today? Um, think about all the documents, especially presentations that the sales team is using. Try to come up with the version that should be the one that everybody should use, and then upload it on HubSpot and start tracking and measuring, adding it to your templates, teaching people how to use it from their email productivity tool, so they don't have to rely on just going directly to HubSpot to use it. And you will see the difference that it will make on at least having information about who is acting on your information or documentation. Very well. Now, the third one, the snippets. So the snippets are like a small version of the email template. There are some kinds of information where you want to have a standardized way of answering stuff or writing down, but it's not really an email. Think about, for example, questions around pricing or questions around, what is the payment methods that you have available, and you have banking information, for example, or information about common questions around your products or services. That's how you will use the snippet. The other cool thing about them is that they come with these shortcuts using the hashtag. So it allows you to insert those sentences across the emails that you are writing, right? So, and you can use them across all the other tools available for the marketing, sales, and customer success team. So it comes very in handy very well. So let me show you right away how it works. I think it's easier to see. This is another thing that you will find on conversations. Let me leave this here. And again, very similar. We have an area we can create folders, and actually have a couple of one. I have one folder here and a couple of snippets that I use for the quoting tool, right? So I will not cover that today. But another thing that you can do on HubSpot for the sales rep to work is quoting clients, right? Creating these quotes or proposals for the services that you sell. So I have a couple of comments and terms on the quotings that we do, and I use them very regularly, and I have them as a snippet. So let me show you an example of those, right? So they are in the folder here. The name is purchase terms, and then I have the snippet of the text, and you can, you can personalize and add tokens of information from contacts and similar things for sure. And I have my shortcut, right? So it's available here. So, and this one, comments to buyers, quite simple. It's a very small brief of text. And I have here something that is going to be replaced with a document that is the scope of the service, right? It's comments to buyer. And then let me show you the way I use them. So when I'm creating a quote, I create a quote. Alrighty, let us choose. And here, when I have comments to buyer, I have this area for the snippets, and I can just add the comments to the buyers, right? Or the other way, let me see if it works here. Purchase. There you go. You see, I use the hashtag and I just add it, and it will automatically add it to the purchase terms. And quotes are not the only place where you can do that. You can do it on email templates, as you might guess, right? So let me exit this. So I'm going back to this one. And so I can insert it using the hashtags, purchase. So imagine that banking account. And that way, everybody has the last information. Again, it's a great way to standardize answers. And is very popular in customer success because they get this request all the time. So you can use it on email templates. Another great area is if you, we will not cover that tool today, but if you have your chat connected to the to HubSpot, or if you have your share inboxes, right? Think about sales at yourcompany.com or support at company.com, and you are managing those conversations here, and you have standard answers. You can use those snippets to provide those answers very quickly, right? So easy way to answer back and make sure that everybody's saying something similar to what the company expects. And you can use it in any area where you can document information, like comments or comments that you can put on a contact. So very, very helpful. Alrighty, so that's the snippets. And finally, let us cover one of of the ones that I think is one of the most helpful ones, which is the middle link, right? So this one is a tool very similar to Calendly, for example, that probably some of you already are using. But in a similar way to why I recommend moving into the chat from HubSpot, even when there might be some features that the tool might be missing compared to dedicated tools like Calendly. The reason I whenever possible I recommend them to use directly the tool from HubSpot is because it's integrated with the data of the CRM, right? So for example, every time that someone schedule a meeting on the Meeting tool, a contact is created automatically. But more importantly, if that person was already a contact on the database, their actions get just added to the timeline instead of creating a new one. So you don't have to do an extra step of making sure that all those conversations are recorded in the CRM, which speed up and save time for the sales rep, right? And it's really a convenient tool. Let me show you how do you use it. Let me go to the place where initially you can set it up. So this is going to be on the sales tab. It's going to be in meetings. And here, there you go. You will have the create a scheduling page, right? So here, admins can see the links of other users, right? And you can see them here, and to some extent they can make changes. And if you are not an admin, you will see yours only, right? And I will show you mine. How do you create one? So you have the troubleshoot. You have a name. Um, in this my case, it's just I offer a 30 minutes or 60 minutes Zoom meeting with me. And again, you can take advantage of the information that you have from the CRM and add personalization to the event title, for example, or to the description. So you can see, for example, here, then when the person scheduled the meeting, the title of the meeting is their name and their company with my name, and in this case Bountify as a company, which comes in handy. You can also see, for example, that you can, if you're going to make this a video conference, you can integrate with tools like Zoom, and I think it's Google Meet. So a Zoom meeting is created automatically, which is very, very helpful. And you can personalize the description here even further if you want to, right, with the information from the contact and the company for sure. Now, this manages the look and feel and the timetable available for the meeting, right? So you can see here I have the options on time, my time zone, and the brackets of time that I am available on a given day. This integrates with your Google Calendar, and I also believe with your Outlook or Microsoft Office 365. So while I'm available from 9 a.m. to p.m., it considers the meetings that I have already scheduled, so it doesn't offer the whole bracket, right? And you can customize the image and take it from the profile that you have on HubSpot or the company profile if you want to share an image. And here you control how many weeks in advance someone can schedule the meeting, noticing right buffer time before and after, the language. If you have an international operation, you can decide if you want to show this in different languages or different locations for your prospects and leads. And here you decide what information you need for the meeting to be scheduled, right? And again, very convenient that those fields will get saved directly onto the contact property, so you don't have to do any integration, and it will be part of the contact for sure. And you can even put some, prevent some spam there from people scheduling conversations without, like robots or something like that. And finally, here you control the experience of what happens after they fill the form. You can send them to a thank you page or just confirm that the booking has happened. And there's even some automation that you can control, right? Getting an email for the confirmation and getting some reminders, which are usually helpful, especially when you are allowing people to schedule, like 3 or 4 weeks ahead of time. They need to be reminded that of that meeting that they scheduled a week or two ago. So you can control all of that here. And once you have that meeting link, you can use it in many, many places. And as you can see the pattern here, you can use it on the auto tools. So it's available. It's available on your email marketer templates. It's available in this case directly on your email. One cool thing that you can do with it. Let me show you here. Let me see if it's. I think this feature is in beta. Let me show you how it looks like. So one interesting thing or thing that I like is that if you connect your domain, then this meeting link will be part of your domain, right? So it looks like Bountify, not like HubSpot or sort of tool. So it's Bountify.io and meetings with my name here, right? It has my image, and here people can select locations, pretty standard, and they can put all the information about them, right? And they can confirm. Another thing that you can do with it, very helpful too, is that you can insert it on your website. It can be a website in HubSpot. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not available in this one. But it can be a website in HubSpot. It can be a website in WordPress or any other CMS. And so people can schedule the meeting directly from your website if you want to, right? You can add it to your chat or chatbot conversation, so you can schedule meetings there. But the last thing that I want to show you is that when you are having those conversations with those prospects and you want to schedule a meeting, but you want to offer them some options already, then you can use this new feature called Insert Proposed Time, right? So this is me. I say, well, this is going to be a 30-minute conversation. I'm going to put a time table here, a couple of days, and then I'm going to make it a video conference. So it will create a conference on Zoom, and I have a default, right, a fallback meeting link if those times don't work for the prospect, and then I insert the times. So this is how it's gonna look like, right? So you can say something here like, here's a couple of options for us to meet, and they can click on this, and the meeting will be scheduled. But if for whatever reason they don't don't have availability on just the options, they can just go and visit your calendar link and pick another day and time that works for them. So very convenient for you and for them. So you don't have to, you don't, for especially for people that don't feel comfortable going into the tool and picking the day and time, right? So it's very helpful for them. All right. So while these are not all the tools that you can use, there are just 4 of them that you can take advantage of. I invite you to visit the rest, right, and explore them. They will have a similar layout. For example, we are not talking about the quoting, the payment links now. That one I will cover in a future conversation. The chat flows, right, which are the inbox, which are the chats for sales rep that can be used to. So I invite you to explore those, but at least take advantage of these 4. One final thing that I want to say that is really relevant, especially for sales managers, is that one of the greatest advantages of using the tools that come natively into HubSpot is that then you will have access to the reporting from those tools directly from the dashboard, right? So, for example, here I'm able to report on how many meetings are being booked by day, where I can report on the people, right? Who is having what kind, how many meetings, and I can drill down on those reports to see what contacts are being contacted. And the same goes for the rest, right? If I have templates, I'm able to report how many of those email templates are being sent, the open rates, and I can drill down to a specific template so I can see the performance of those documents and start improving, right? So that will be more of the realm of the marketing person or the sales operation person to say, well, are we having success with these email templates? Can we tweak them to improve the open rate, to improve the click rate, and overall speed up the process and make it easier for the sales rep? So every tool that you have there can bring information in the form of reports that you can act upon to optimize and improve the process. So another great way to take advantage of them for sure. Sorry about that. All right. So I think that with that, I will finish for today. I wonder if anyone has any questions. Feel free to put it here on the chat. Um, if you have it right now. And if not, feel free to reach out, share with me some of the questions in the community, um, and I will be able to answer them. Um, one thing that I want to tell you is that probably for the next session I will do it that way. I'm working for our next presentation, for our next topic, to be the new offer from HubSpot, the free CMS, the only free version of their hubs that was not available, right? They had free versions of every hub but CMS. And I think a month ago or something like that, they released the new free version of the CMS, which I think is very helpful. Think of, Wix or Squarespace or a similar product. um, uh, with the CMS for free, right? For smaller companies that are just starting and want to test out the web pages and the landing page and the blog features. I think it's going to be a great tool. So we will dive a little bit into the things that you can do on the free version and take advantage of it. Alrighty. Well, it's been a pleasure. Again, my name is Emilio Garcia from Bountify, and I'm really, really happy of you having the opportunity to talk to you today. I hope you have a great day and see you in the next HubSpot user group meeting. Have a great one. Bye bye.